Tesla, of course, will never say this publicly, but I'm going to, just so everybody's on the same page. They're just about done with the Foundation Series Cybertrucks. I think we're nearing the last couple of weeks when they're going to be offering it, mainly because, for one, people are reporting that they're getting offered to configure their Foundation Series, even people who reserved their Cybertruck just a mere couple of months or weeks ago, which means if you've never placed an order on a Cybertruck and you ordered one today, there's a good chance you'll be offered to configure your Foundation Series in the not too distant future. And also for two, Tesla has bizarrely just recently started offering test drives at multiple locations for the Cybertruck, which definitely I thought would not happen for a long time because we knew how long the wait list was. But my theory is Tesla's estimating that because there's so many new Cybertrucks out on the road, customer deliveries of course had officially begun and everything. They're hoping for one last Hail Mary where they get some rich people in some test drives where they go, you know what, I saw one on the road the other day, I guess I'll try one out, and then butt in seat, hopefully someone actually test drives one and is willing to drop at least $100,000 to take delivery of it. But it's not too far off from the timeline Elon originally said, where they said they would finish the Foundation Series near the end of Q3. All that being said, what does ending the Foundation Series actually really mean? Well, it means that Cybertruck prices are finally going to start dropping soon. The big question, though, that leaves lots of room for speculation, which is kind of all we do on this channel, is by how much. I think way too many overly optimistic Tesla bulls out there are just assuming that, whoa, well, if we get rid of Foundation Series, that means suddenly Tesla will immediately drop to offering an $80,000 Cybertruck, which of course qualifies for the federal tax credit for now, and that makes it a $72,000 Cybertruck that we're gonna see delivered within the next couple of months, right? Well, it's not impossible that they could go that route, but knowing how Tesla does things, I'm willing to speculate here in today's video that's not how the pricing ladder is gonna go. So let me just explain a few of the different possibilities Tesla could exercise in order to prioritize thick margins on the Cybertruck, even though Foundation Series may be technically over. So in case you weren't aware, Foundation Series basically just comes with all of the options unlocked. Like, it means the Cybertruck has full self-driving, it has the prettier, bigger tires, it comes with, I guess on the Cyberbeast, a light bar and some power share equipment, so they could easily just start picking and choosing which ones to not include while still charging quite a bit. So for option one, they could very much start prioritizing non-Foundation Series Cyberbeasts, which are supposed to be $100,000, at least on the website. So they could easily just start saying, okay, if you want your Cybertruck now, you're not going to get the lifetime premium connectivity, you're not going to get the free light bar, you're not going to get the power share equipment included, you're not going to get FSD perhaps included, but you will still have to pay $100,000 for the tri-motor Cyberbeast option. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a bunch of Cyberbeasts that haven't been taken delivery of yet anyway, because who wants to drop $120,000 on that option? So that might last them a couple weeks if they just start doing non-Foundation Series Cyberbeasts, and then after that, they could just start prioritizing Cybertrucks that come with the tires that they already have in stock. The bigger, prettier, but less efficient wheels that we pretty much see on all Cybertrucks already. We don't know exactly how much that paid option is supposed to be. It could be a $4,000 option, could be a $2,000 option, but they could easily also start requiring full self-driving to be equipped, at least to the order, even though Tesla is probably not going to have it rolled out to the Cybertruck fleet just yet. But they could require you to have FSD added for you to be moved up in line, where they start saying, okay, well, if you don't spec the larger $2,000 tires and the $8,000 FSD package, then you get pushed to the back of the line, which means it's not an $80,000 purchase. Now, if you're lucky, maybe it's a $90,000 purchase. And then it'll be a while of them delivering $90,000 Cybertrucks before they start offering cheaper ones. They could easily then start delivering Cybertrucks with the smaller, uglier, but more efficient wheels and tires, which, by the way, they've offered Foundation Series customers to take delivery with those tires, and yet we haven't seen a single one actually delivered to anybody. But that's the kind that's supposed to get 340 miles estimated by the EPA. Again, just hasn't happened yet, so maybe Tesla's going to deliver those before offering non-Foundation Series. But still, once they have those wheels and tires out in production, then they could just say, okay, we'll give you your non-Foundation Series Cybertruck, but it still has to have FSD equipped. That's how we're going to jump people in the line, is if you add that $8,000 option, in which case it becomes an $88,000 truck, which is still, of course, much cheaper than what they're charging today with a $100,000 option, but still, I think it's very likely Tesla's going to pick and choose which batch batches of Cybertruck they deliver next purely upon which ones secure the thicker margins. And I would not be surprised if there are no Cybertrucks delivered in 2024 that actually qualify for the federal tax credit, because that means they have to be priced below $80,000. And I think there's a ton of demand for the non-foundation series. I mean, it's incredible that even with the $100,000 and $120,000 Cybertruck options with all the bells and whistles attached, they were able to outsell the Rivian R1T, they were able to outsell the F-150 Lightning, the Hummer EV, the Silverado, you know, pretty much every other electric truck got outsold by the Cybertruck, and that's when it was costing six figures. Just imagine how many more demand levers they have once they start bringing down the price to, let's say, $90,000 or $88,000 or maybe $85,000. I think there's whole new levels of demand they could potentially tap into before they start hitting the floor of the dual motor, which should be a little bit south of $80,000. That's a pretty big jump. That's a pretty big demand lever because of the $7,500 point of sale tax credit. And I'm sure Tesla will qualify for it, just like all their other long-range vehicles do. And in my opinion, they're probably going to avoid accessing that demand lever as long as possible because they know that's when the floodgates basically open up. That's when I think the Cybertruck demand will roughly triple or quadruple as soon as it starts hitting the like low $70,000 range. And then probably a year after offering that more affordable dual motor option, that's when they might start talking about doing a single motor option. And I wouldn't even be surprised if not only does that single motor rear wheel drive Cybertruck have a smaller battery pack, but they might take out some other features. Like they might use thinner steel on the doors so that they're not bulletproof, but the everyday consumer would never notice. They might also remove the rear wheel steering just to save on cost and parts. There's little things they could take out so that they could hypothetically get the purchase price down to $61,000 after the tax credit, more like mid $50,000, which I think is going to be a crazy time because yes, the Cybertrucks are already in the wild and out there and people are still pointing them out, but once they start unlocking, you know, $70,000, $60,000, $50,000 variants of the Cybertruck, that's when they're really going to start taking over the roads and they might start to become as popular as the Model Y because the pickup truck market is so insanely large in the United States. And Tesla is pretty much going to be the only one offering an all-electric truck with like a 6-foot bed, the fast charging capability to go well over 250 kilowatts because Tesla is already experimenting with the V4 superchargers recently, unlocking 320 kilowatts just by pumping a ton of amps through those more liquid-cooled cables, even though it's not like a true V4 supercharger. It's a V4 dispenser which can support more amps, and you know, the Rivian caps out at like 220 kilowatts, the F-150 Lightning caps out even less at 150 kilowatts, and the Cybertruck will be able to access the entire supercharging network, not just the V3 stations like Rivian and Ford are limited to. So the size of it and the eye-catchingness of it, the steer-by-wire, I think is a huge selling point for a lot of people, and hopefully in the next couple years they actually add full self-driving to it, which might help move some more inventory for people out there that care about it. But what do you guys think? When is Tesla actually gonna hit that magic $80,000 purchase price that unlocks the federal tax credit? And what things do you think they're gonna force everybody to buy in order to secure thicker profit margins on those non-foundation series Cybertrucks? All your thoughts, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. And thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. Have an excellent rest of your day.